Hey, this is Captain Sneaks in Power Armor Noob, and this is the Haymaker 12. This is a standalone shotgun that has been ported from CoD Black Ops 3, and yes, it's another CoD Black Ops weapon. People have been wanting to see more of these, and this is another one that I am aware of. I don't think there's any more than this as of yet, but yeah, this is the Haymaker 12. It's a big old shotgun. I can't actually tell you how good the thing is in its native game of Black Ops 3 because I've rarely played it except for a little bit of split screen here and there with my bro. Anyways, we'll get into these attachments. First of all, the receivers as always, and you've got the same sort of receivers you'd find on the combat shotgun, although it's truncated a little bit. You can chuck the advanced receiver on for 261 damage, which is pretty good. Now for the barrels, again, this has lots and lots of customization options, which is good. You can chuck a long barrel there, and that'll give you the best range and accuracy, which seems useful for a shotgun, and a laser pointer too will increase our hipfire accuracy. So yeah, I probably want to hipfire this as much as possible. Being a shotgun makes you feel nice and badass. Now for the stocks, we've got the standard grip there, which is no stock. It actually increases the recoil, makes lots of sense there. You got the full stock, the hardened stock, and the recoil compensating stock. Yeah, the looks look pretty good. I think I like the look of the full stock the most, but that is inferior to the recoil compensating one because it doesn't reduce your recoil as much. Now for the magazines, you've got the standards, your drums, and then your extended ones, and then the special magazines, which give you the cryo, which looks like the freezing effect, explosive, obviously the explosive effect, incendiary, and the plasma infused effect on these, which is absolutely awesome. You can just chuck on legendary effects whenever you want, which makes this thing extremely powerful. It does require a little bit of science, demolitions expert, and yeah, to get that to go, and also gun nut there. So there's a little bit of perks you have to invest in order to get that. But so you know what, that makes it a little bit more sort of balanced. We'll go for the drum magazine right now. We'll not dabble into these ones just yet. And for the sights, we'll just go for some glowies. So let's go yellow glowies. I think that looks kind of nice there, or maybe green ones to match our laser sight there. I think that's more aesthetically pleasing. And of course, you can put a compensator on there if you want, or even a suppressor, which I'm going to piss people off and attach the suppressor now. What are you going to do? Dislike the video. And then we'll move on to our colors. So we've got the army color, the black colors, and a bunch of camos along with that. That's the same one we used yesterday, and I like that camo even though it's barely noticeable with all of the parts here not being compatible with that material swap there in creation kit terms. And of course, a legendary effect is always there if you need it, but we can access 4 of those with the mag, so we'll leave that alone for now, and we'll see what this Haymaker can do now. We'll probably grab another one too, just to spice it up a little bit. Okay, here we are in Gunners Plaza, and this is our Haymaker 12 in first person, and looking down sights there. Yeah, the glowies look pretty good on this, and it's all lining up with the laser sight, which is great. And there's what it looks like in third person there, a satisfying size to the weapon. It's not too much bigger than the combat shotgun there, so yeah, nice and futuristic and ergonomic and all things like that. We'll get into shooting some gunners now, and as you can tell, this thing fires generally about as fast as you would fire a combat shotgun with the advanced receiver, and it's doing okay damage to zero in on the head, obviously, to get better damage, and that's probably what we need to do here to make sure we get the best damage output. Now, this mod does require the Nuka World DLC, like the KN44 yesterday, and it uses the handmade rifle animations, and as such, it will have the animations change depending on, ooh, was that collision with a dead body or just get stuck somewhere? Yes, as such, its animations will change depending on whether you've got a animation replacer mod for it, and indeed I do. It's just the right-handed handmade rifle one, so yeah, the reload is good except you use the force to pull the bolt on the other side of the weapon, I guess, which maybe in-game the bolt's on that side to crank, but I'm not sure what it's like. This thing's obviously tuned to suit the handmade rifle DLC animations there, and also you can stop shooting at me with your very fast firing assault rifle, by the way. We'll just go ahead and pop a crit into his face there, and we're all nice and hidden because we're using a suppressor and a shotgun. I know it's sacrilege, isn't it? We'll knock out that gunner there, and we'll switch over to our freezing one. This one doesn't have a suppressor, so we're going loud and proud now, and yeah, we seem to be doing pretty good. This one's got the freezing effect on it, and since Bridget is a gunner of 5,000 health, we can't freeze you. What if we shoot you? you know you can't freeze robots, we can freeze, yes, we can freeze you. And also, we knock down you for a second, we're in a nerd rage, so we'll make advantage of that just by shooting these people in slow motion there and doing a whole lot more damage thanks to the freezing effect and that extra little bit of energy damage. Or maybe this weapon is performing better without a suppressor. Maybe that's a thing. I'm not sure. When you've got an explosive one with a suppressor, it seems to perform better with the suppressor, but maybe it's placebo, because I should probably account into the extra energy damage more when going over the damage thing. But yeah, this thing is absolutely kicking ass. It's nice and balanced too. It's not too overpowered like the KN-44, so you can have this replace your shotgun and have it like a non-law friendly replacer, and you can still have fun with this. It's nice and balanced in that way. Obviously these gunners are super tanky because I'm playing on very hard, the worst difficulty there is, because it just makes everything a tank on tank slogging match, which is not all that fun to play. But we're cutting through these gunners pretty fast in terms of very hard, so I'm happy with that. Also, we ought to move around a little bit now because, yes, we're about to die here. We're at very low health and we've already burnt our nerd rage up. So, to that end, time to just get critting these gunners. Okay, he's nice and frozen. That threat is down, and we'll go ahead and crit you. And before you can get up, we'll just give you a couple of shotgun shells there. Don't forget to reload. And now you guys are dead. Only one turret remains, and we can hit him for pretty crap damage out here, but that is fine because we're at a shotgun, and oh my god, you've got bugger all health left. How did you even survive all that? Who knows, but don't worry, the stim pack is like a god healing tool because it just cures all your bullet wounds in a second. It's a modern marvel of technology, that one. Alright, we'll move on to something else. Okay, this time we're going to drop the hammer on these bastards. This is supposedly the explosive special mag in this shotgun, so let's see if we can get some explosives happening on these super mutants there. Yes, pretty good there. We'll quickly just get the pellets on them and do a lot more bonus damage with the explosives, and as you can tell there, you can kick these guys' asses, but yeah, I don't really need to be a weapons dude in Fallout to tell you, yeah, an explosive shotgun is going to be powerful, and I probably don't need to explain it either. It just turns all the pellets into explosive bullets. It's kind of like the M26 dart glitch back in Battlefield 3, whereas instead of firing the little darts that you'd fire from the flechette underbarrel on your M26 dart, it would fire bullets instead, so you'd do like 34 damage per shot, but you'd fire like 12 projectiles at the same time, if you're using the G3A3, that is, and then you could just pretty much kill people across the map because all of those darts would be packed in at a reasonably tight spread there, and you can pretty much mow people down. But that was a glitch. I exploited it because I found it super fun. Also, I shot myself there. Good job. You get to a point in Fallout 4 where the strongest things can't really hurt you. It's more of the you hurt yourself. It's kind of like that Incredibles super robot, which the only thing that is powerful enough to destroy it is itself. So in a roundabout way, you become the monster of Fallout at the end. And speaking of monsters of Fallout, okay, we're back in a nerd rage again. We've procced that twice, and that is because you do heal a little bit per kill with nerd rage. So if you can actually time it properly and get a couple of kills per nerd rage and then go back into it, you can actually do pretty well there. Now, I'm pretty sure it restores a certain percentage of your health each time rather than a certain point number of health. So if you got a high health bar and you can kill a lot of people in a very short time, you can pretty much keep nerd rage going if you allow enemies to damage you enough to keep that going, which is kind of good because chaining nerd rage really is a good way of doing a whole lot of damage. But there you go, that was the explosive Haymaker shotgun in Fallon's apartment store. It lays waste to super mutants pretty easily, but it'd do the same to pretty much anything else you pointed at. We'll move on to monster now. Yes, we'll do that. Hey, do you reckon the Furious effect works well on the Haymaker 12? Let's find out. So Spawn right now, we can't really stack the damage on him too much because it'll be interrupted by these Rust Devils. So before we take on Spawn, it's probably a good idea to take out as many of these Rust Devils as possible. Fortunately, they've helped us out a bit in terms of the damage there, and they've damaged him quite a bit. Also, he's shooting at the completely wrong spot there, so good on you, mate. Also, there's a vertibird here who's also going to interrupt my furious damage stacking there, so good job Vertibird, you're making this needlessly painful, but looks like he's not gonna bother to shoot him. Now as you can tell there, every time we're hitting him we're getting slightly higher damage, so you know what, it looks like this thing is actually compatible with the furious thing there. We're getting slightly higher damage each time there, and it does reset if you miss or don't miss or miss a significant amount of pallets. But you know what, Phoebe's actually institute aligned, so she's got no problem shooting down Vertibirds if they get in her way. I think that one is pissing off though, so that's fine. Back into caution now. As long as we can stack sneak attack criticals on Swan, that'll make this fight a lot easier. But we've got a low rate of fire, so we're not going to be able to stack the furious damage all that fast there. We'll quickly just reload and VATS there. We're getting some sneak attack criticals, what I believe, on Swan there. Back into danger now, so our damage has somewhat reset. And now we're about one more anchor slam from dying, so if you could just throw a rock at me, put me in a nerd rage for a second. Or maybe another rock at that point. Alright, I think we're doing pretty well at this point. We're hitting him for very high amounts of damage there. And I did go in a nerd rage just then, and just didn't trigger the slowdown. And now I can't do that because my health is too high. So we did do it at the end. The damage was probably pretty high doing that. So you know what? Yeah, looks like Furious can work on shotguns, which is kind of awesome because, yeah, you can get a lot of damage on these things. Although, unlike Furious effects on weapons that fire one projectile at once, each pellet doesn't sort of, each projectile doesn't do the extra damage. It's one shot, so that's some sort of interesting little quirk about the Furious effect. It's actually per shot and not per projectile, so yeah. Otherwise, if you had a Furious shotgun, you could shoot him once and that damage would pretty much stack 8 times over if you got an advanced receiver and they all hit. So yeah, increments of 15% on that. I'm not a calculator, but I can tell, yeah, you'll be doing quite a lot of damage with that. But you know what, I think I'll leave things off there for the Haymaker. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out the description. Once again, sorry console people, this is a PC exclusive because it is on Gun Network there. And if you want to get this, you have to make an account on the Gun Network site, which it's not a pain in the ass. The community is pretty cool actually. But whatever you do, don't call them illegal mods because, yeah, they'll know you're a fuckhead from that. But yeah, check out the description if you're interested on PC, and I'll throw in the links to the Phoebe Companion mod. That's the character I'm playing as right now. Yeah, I'll throw that in the description too if you're wanting to have her in your game. Thank you for watching, guys.